Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be going over my rod and reel arsenal for 2024. All of the setups I'll be using, both casting and spinning, and a lot of the reels that I have and a few of the rods are not like normal ones that you would see if you just looked on anybody's boats. I've got quite a few, I guess you'd call them rare reels, but a lot of JDM reels, some older ones that you just don't usually see. And the first one is a 2018 Shimano Antares DC Monster Drive, and this reel is just absolutely insane. And I've got 20-pound fluorocarbon in here. This is my big swimbait setup. I matched this with a Leviathan Rods Omega swimbait rod, and this is an 8-foot heavy, and this setup is just absolutely unreal. I love it. I use it more than any of my other setups. Even though you don't catch as many fish on it, it's so much fun to throw. This reel is just absolutely crazy, and this rod with the super long handle, I absolutely love it. This is my first big swimbait setup, big glide setup, and it's just performed so well, and I'm excited to catch a bunch of fish on it this summer and spring. Now going on to the second one, this is another reel that you won't just see all the time. This is a 2012 Shimano Core 100 MG. This is a 6-year ratio, and this reel is from the same era as the green Corrado 200Es, but it's basically just a step up from the green Corrados that were out back then, and I want to get one of those, but I've always wanted one of these. This reel is insanely light, super nice, and reels from this era I believe are literally just as good as ones from like today, and so I still buy ones from this era all the time. And I've got this paired up with a 7.2 medium heavy Shimano Zodius. This is the newer Zodius. This is from like 2020 or 21, and I have 17-pound fluoro on here, and I use this for spinnerbaits. The next combo is my 2010, also same as the Core, but this is the Shimano Scorpion XT. This is just the JDM version of the green Corrado that everyone loves. You could either pay $30 for the green Corrado on eBay, or you could pay like $100 flat for one of these, and this is the literal exact same reel. So if you're wanting one of those, buy one of these. It's the same thing. I have 65-pound Power Pro on this. I use it as my frog setup. I have a 7.4 heavy St. Croix Mojo bass rod on here, so perfect frog setup. I think this is my best looking setup just because of the color combination of the two. You guys will be seeing the up close of all these reels, like cinematic shots of them all, and the color of this reel matches this rod with the same like boat sparkle effect, I guess you could call it, and it's just unreal looking. My third setup is slightly different from the spinning setup I used all of last year, but this is the same rod. This is the Favorite Phantom Rig Series 7.3 medium light. I absolutely love this rod, and instead of having a 3000 size Stratic CI4 Plus in here, I put a 2500 CI4 Stratic on here, and this reel is just amazing. Bought it off used eBay. It's just performed great. Way cheaper than buying them new, which you can't anymore, but. And my next spinning setup, this is the reel I used to have on that rod. This is my 3000 size Stratic that I've had for like 6 years. I had to replace the roller bearing in it this winter because it finally gave out and was making some crazy sound. But I've got this paired with a recently bought rod, and this is a Megabass Levante 7.4 Enforcer. It's a medium. On both this one and that spinning reel, I have 15-pound braid to a 12 or 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, and this is my wacky rig setup. I use that for Ned rigs or light shaky heads. Next setup is a Shimano Corrado 200K, and I've got 17-pound fluoro on this. This is my Texas rig setup. I've got a 7.2 medium heavy X Pride A on here. This is not the newer X Pride, but the older one, and I absolutely love this rod. I've got a ton of big fish on it. Next setup is probably one of my favorites. I've got my second favorite behind the Antares, and this is a Chronarch MGL, and I've got 20-pound fluoro on this, and paired with that I've got a 7.2 heavy Poison Adrena, and I mean, this rod is just absolutely insane. It doesn't even, like, the sensitivity in it is just crazy. You just need to try one if you haven't. What I use this for is just jigs. I love jig fishing. This is my go-to setup for that. Next is a setup I've had for a long time, and it is very good condition still. This is the reel they do not make anymore, but it's a Shimano Canaan. This was $70 or $80 I believe in 2018, and I use this for chatterbaits, but this reel is 80 bucks, and has held up better than so many more like expensive reels. It's crazy. And then this rod is a Bass Pro Shops Pro Qualifier 2 medium heavy, but it says it's a fast action, but it's got a lot of bend in there, so I like it for either liplesses or smaller chatterbaits like 3/8 ounce ones. This next setup is, I will either use this for frogs or just other topwaters if I have a frog on my Scorpion. But this is a Corrado DC 65-pound braid on it, and this is a favorite balance, the Flares version of it from the Guggen, whatever, same as the spinning rod I have. But this is it's a 7.4 extra heavy, so this thing pulls that fish out of that grass super easily. It's a lot of fun to use. Only downside, it is a very heavy rod. Next is another reel that you don't see a lot of the time, and this is a 2017 Shimano Scorpion DC. This is a 7-gear ratio. I use this for also mainly chatterbaits, and I'm not using my other setup, but I use this for liplesses. This setup is just super nice for it. This is a Megabass Levante, and this is the Diablo Spec R, so it's a 7.2. It's just super nice. I love these Megabass rods, and this reel is the furthest casting reel I have ever seen. Outcasted Corrado DC, the Antares DC, everything. If you want a reel that can cast super far, just buy one of these used off eBay. It's definitely worth it. And then my last spinning setup I have is, this is the St. Croix Mojo Bass Trigon, their new one. I love this rod. I know some people don't like the handle as much. I really like it, and I've been using this thing like crazy with Ned rigs and wacky rigs this winter in ponds when the fish aren't really eating anything else, and I've just really liked it. And I've got a 3000 sized Shimano Nasi on here, the old one, not the FC with silver. It's the gold and black one. This reel's held up great. It's not as smooth as a Stratic, but it's a great reel. And then my last casting combo that I use all the time is a 2022, I believe, Shimano Metanium, and this is the JDM one, so it's super tiny, and I bought this used off of eBay. Most of my reels are used off of eBay. This reel was only like $150 when it was new, like $400, because they've came out with so many Metaniums recently, I guess. But this thing is unreal how smooth it is. I've got 12-pound fluorocarbon in here. This is my crankbait setup, and the rod I've got it on is my dad's old Lew's crank and stick rod that he bought in college, and this is a insanely flimsy rod. It has yet to fail me in any way, being insanely flimsy, but the butt is broken. We need to find a way to fix that. He's had it since college. I'm using it now. Works great. Next are two reels that I do not like actively use, but I will be using for videos this upcoming summer. One of them has already been used in a video. This is my grandpa's Shimano Bantam Magnum Light 2000 GT. This reel is awesome. I've made a video on it. It's super cool. I think it's from the 80s. And then my uncle recently gave me this, and it's a Abu Garcia Ambassador from the 90s with a old Berkeley Lightning rod, also from the 90s. So I'm really excited to use this for a video. It's still super good quality. So I'm gonna make a video on just using this, fishing a few ponds, trying it on this rod and some other ones, just to use it. And then I'm gonna do a video of using this and the old Shimano reel versus some new ones and stuff like that, just for like some challenge videos. So that is all the rods and reels that I have. If you've got any questions about buying reels on eBay or any of the rods or reels I have, let me know in the comments. My only recommendation with buying reels off of eBay is only buy reels that do have the 30 to 60 day return policy, because usually that means they won't fail on you. If they do, send them back. I haven't had to send one back yet, but I buy all my stuff used basically besides some of the rods. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.